I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a security camera in that room.
There is.
Yeah, and it caught everything on camera.
He was playing with it?
Playing? Oh, no, ma'am. He's going to jail tonight.
Police are called to a small private school in Ocala, Florida, after the principal is accused of trapping a fifth-grade student in a room and assaulting him for nearly an hour. The following report is based on police records, and most of the footage has never been seen before until now. Please note that the suspect in question and all persons charged with the crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law.
How you doing, sir? God bless you.
How you doing? Do you know why I'm here?
Yes, we had called because we just got a report that that our principal mishandled one of our kids today.
Your principal did?
Yes.
Do you have a video of it?
Yes. Yes, we have a video of it. That's the executive principal right there.
We have a video of it, but the person who can put it up is on their way in maybe about 30 minutes before they can get here.
Are you the one that called 911?
She called 911. She's our pastor.
I'm the founder.
She's the founder of the school.
Destiny Leadership Academy is a Christian school started by Lily Tuggerson, known as Apostle T to her congregants at Immerse, the Pentecostal church nearby. It's clear immediately that the line between school employees and church followers is somewhat blurry.
Now, we haven't talked to the parent.
The parent doesn't know?
I don't know.
We are not sure. She hasn't called us.
But we haven't talked to him.
Okay. When did you find out about this?
I found out about it about 6 or 7 o'clock this evening.
Okay.
The teacher called me.
And she came to the church and told me about it. I told her we're going to call the sheriff department right now.
Neither the child nor the principal himself are still on campus, leaving the police with only names and descriptions at this point.
His name is Donnie Prophet.
His last name's Prophet?
Yes.
Right. The principal that's abusing the child, his name is Prophet. Lord,
how old is the kid?
I think he's like in the 5th grade.
Do you know where it took place at?
Dr. Lyman. She knows.
Is this a school?
Yes.
Oh.
This is school. I didn't talk to Brother Prophet about it. I mean, he's a member of our church too.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't talk to him, and I didn't call the parent yet.
It'll be some time before the school secretary arrives with the surveillance video, but Dr. Vi, Destiny's executive principal, has already seen the footage, and even her description of it sounds appalling.
And in that video, what did you see?
I saw the principal in severe physical confrontation with the student.
And what physical did you see?
Right.
So I saw him throw the kid on the floor at one point.
And what do you mean by throw? Did he pick him up? Did he push him?
I saw a sling.
He slinged him like that?
Yes, and then at one point he was on top of the kid.
As horrifying as these details sound, the deputy seems to wonder if something precipitated the confrontation.
Did the kid do anything to invoke this, to lead up to this?
Okay.
Did the kid strike him?
So he's like, did the kid strike him is what he's going to ask. And I get it, because some of y'all going to be like, oh, hell no, a kid hit me, I'm going to hit him back. I totally get it. But because, y'all want to be a religious Christian, hallelujah, school, and I ain't knocking it, just not my flow, okay? So I don't do religions at all. None of them. Baptist, Christian, Catholic, Jew, I don't do none of them, okay? Because it's always some secret underground bone grinding horrific stories behind of what be going on. So I just don't. But I don't care what the kid did. She said that he got on top of the kid. And I don't know if she was doing something, but she said at one point she seen him on top of the kid, then he took it, he swung the kid. But this went on, remind you, the beginning of this said this was a like torture or abuse or whatever for an hour long. Whatever that kid did, even if he strikes you, why are you dealing with this for an hour? Kid, grab your stuff. Sit in this office. I'm calling your parents. You're expelled. You cannot come back to this school because it's a private school. It's a private school. So I'm just going to kick you out of here. You can't come back. No kid warrants somebody to put their hands on them to the point where it's abusive, especially for a whole hour. That's abuse. I don't even know. I wouldn't need to hear nothing else. Once you said that for an hour, we have a video showing that this so-called pastor, this principal, this leader, whatever, he goes by Prophet, was literally beating on a child for an hour. That's all I got to hear. That's all you got to tell me for me to know you guilty, you wrong, and you need to be in jail. Why are we having long conversations? But we're going to see how this turns out. So let's get back to it.
Did they have problems in the past?
They've had problems in the past.
They've had problems in the past.
They've been the best friends.
So this is an ongoing issue?
I think so.
Okay.
And not...
But what led, that's what I'm trying to figure out, what, did he was just in anger rage, so he took it on the kid?
My understanding is that he called the kids in because they're the leaders and said that in order for you to graduate, you got to write a 5-page essay. I think he said he was not going to do it. He didn't understand why they would have to do that. And so the kid is in the video, he put his head down on the desk. And so from that point, I think the principal was trying to make the kid do what he said.
As the deputies step out to discuss the case, one of them gets the first inkling that something is off, a feeling that will only grow in the coming hours.
Because he didn't want to write a 5-page
sounds like an
essay?
aggravated child abuse arrest.
This sounds like a headlines case. Principal of Destiny Leadership Academy arrested for aggravated child abuse. This happened like 2 o'clock this afternoon. The kid went home. She told me he's lumped up pretty bad. The parent didn't see this?
Right.
The parent didn't see the marks on this kid's face? That's a little weird. And then they waited to, the secretary and the teacher waited till 30 minutes ago to finally tell them about, oh yeah, by the way, you should know about this.
The deputies run Dante Prophet's name through their system,
that's problematic
but this standard scan returns a shocking result.
Can you imagine he's a suspect?
In another case?
He just got arrested last year?
For what? Battery?
He got arrested on a warrant last year?
He got arrested on a warrant and he's
charged. You see a black identity.
He got arrested for a probation violation, felony, 1 count, attempt to commit interfering with child custody.
As stunning as this revelation is, the deputy soon realizes that he hasn't seen the worst of it.
Lewd and lascivious molestation.
You're joking.
Swear.
10-15?
Yeah.
Under the interstate.
I bet they don't
so
know
how's he a
that.
principal?
I can't wait to tell them.
As eager as the police are to share these details with the school's administrators, the reaction they get is nearly as surprising as the news itself.
Question. Do you guys do screening before you do a hiring process?
We do. Yes, we do.
You do?
Yes.
Well, I just looked up Dante, and
Yes, I know. We know him.
do you know of
You know what?
the serious charges that he's against him?
He's been arrested twice on Marion County alone.
One for molestation,
We didn't check any other
Why go
counties.
where?
child molestation.
Okay, that's that.
Yes, that was the accusation.
Well, he got arrested for it.
Yeah.
And they say
And
it's
then
ongoing.
the other one is interference with child custody, felony.
Is what?
Interference with child custody, felony.
What is that?
Basically means that a parent or a guardian said, give me my kid, and he said, I'm not giving you the kid.
Yeah, he refused to give somebody's kids back. That means he took somebody's kid, or a kid went with him somewhere to his house or something, and he refused to return the kid after the kid was put in missing. A kid that's not his.
Yeah, he's very protective.
The
What?
revelation that school officials already...
Wait. Did she say, yeah, he's very protective? No, ma'am. That's not protective. That's kidnapping. That is wrong. That's not how you protect somebody by keeping their... Did she say he's very protective? And child sex abuse charges against him or accusations, whatever, but they said it's an ongoing investigation. It just happened. So when y'all seen that, nothing in your mind said, hey, you seem like a good guy and everything. We know you go to the church, but until this stuff is cleared up, I can't see you like here with the kids. And probably even after it's cleared up, let's just be safe and say you don't need to be working here. That's not what we thought about? Y'all got the Holy Spirit so much that it told y'all to hire somebody that you guys willingly and knowingly knew had sexual assault charges against a child pending on him. And for some reason, it just made sense to make him the principal at the school. Your private Christian school. And the old lady gonna say, he's very protective. To be in charge for kidnapping, you think that's being protective? Let's get back to this video.
He knew about some of Dante's history is astonishing, and the deputy
Right.
tries to make them
The fact they
understand the
knew.
potential problem they have on their hands.
I'm sure your parents don't want to find out that you got a guy, a principal at your school, that's molestation charges and interference with child
A
custody.
lot of them know him though.
Okay, but that's
Like personally?
A lot of
Yes,
I got you. I mean, if I had a child and I found out my principal of my children's school,
yeah,
I'd be freaking out.
right. He
and my kid wouldn't be at that school.
he knows a lot of them. He's very personable. This part I didn't know about.
But you can even see the officer standing at the door. He like,
but
this
he
fool.
mentor like teenage boys and stuff, and help them finish their high school and help them go to college. So all of that.
The deputy's frustration is mounting, but it seems that school officials have already dealt with some of these concerns.
That's the same thing that anybody can have access to if they pull up his name, right? They should be able to see that.
Yeah,
But because the parent or two had mentioned it, but they were still, because he had done such a good job last year, they were still willing to stand behind him and let their kids come.
And that was problem.
He was not on his bed.
But that comment's like, that's a joke. Because that is.
Yes, he does.
That sounds insane. Like, I don't care. I'm not going to stand by your side. That is so, it irritates me because I just feel like black people do this. This is why so many little girls and boys in the black community and black families are so, like, sometimes messed up, because you will know that uncle, that aunt that are on that weird, that's always doing weird to kids. But you're going to sweep it under the rug. You're going to blame it on some mental health issue or just never talk about it. And that's weird to me. Why can't we talk about it? Let's talk about it. Uncle been touching me. Beat his ass and get him up out this house. Keep him away from me. Your job is to protect me as a child. And in black families, for some reason, we have this habit of knowing these things that are so detrimental to our kids. We've most likely experienced it. Now our kids are experiencing it. And instead of addressing it and literally getting justice for it, a lot of times it's just swept under the rug. I don't want to believe Jack did that. No, no, ma'am. Jack's a good one. He mows the lawn. He takes out the trash. He walks the dog. He comes to church on Sunday. So effing what? It's usually the people that look so squeaky clean are the ones that are usually the most venomous ass people out there. Just because the person doesn't have a criminal record doesn't mean that they're criminal-less. You know what I'm saying. And just because a person has a criminal record doesn't mean that they're just a professional criminal living their life just being a criminal forever. I have an old record. I changed my life 2 years after getting out of prison. No, it was not right away. But I changed my life. And I became a success, gave birth to my children, raised amazing kids, smart, intelligent. I never went back after I got out. Well, after I got out the last time I got out. Because I did go back a couple of times after I got out of prison. But they were on more sillier things. But it was enough for me to know that I needed to grow up. You know, so I just, not everybody that comes off so great is so great. And to sit here and to be like, you know, oh, they decided to stand by him because he did such a great job. Predators sometimes don't go for the whole flock of kids. They find one that seems to get less attention, less care, has low self-esteem, usually not a person that speaks out. They look for certain things that they could do. It could be 200 kids there, but they only need one of them. And they usually want the one that nobody's really thinking about like that. So while he or she is doing great with programs and spending time with other kids and treating them normal looking, they're preying on at least one of them. And I think that's sick when somebody knows these things about somebody and says, well, I'm going to sweep it under the rug. In my book, if you know somebody that's a petty and you chilling with them, you cool with them, you mess with them on any level, you just as sick as them. Because ain't no way you can't ever sit in front of me and you're not going to hear me say to you, what do you need, pedo? I'm going to say it to you every time. I'm going to make you mad enough that you're going to want to fight me so I can have every excuse to blow your noodles out your head. And that's for real. That's for real. I just not at all, because you should never put yourself in these weird compromising positions to where you have to ever worry about allegations like that. Why would you be alone with any child that's not yours? And if you're aunt and uncle, then make sure that whatever you do, you don't turn out to be a freaking pedo. If you're a cousin, if you're a grandparent, if you're a step-parent, what's your problem? What's wrong with you? As soon as some type of weird thoughts come in your head like this, to abuse a child, to molest a child, you need to be like, yo, fall back, I need help. Just that simple. Go do that. Go get that. I cannot fathom why people do the things they do to children. But I even more so can't understand why somebody would sit there and say that I'm going to support somebody that does that. If it was my brothers and I have a cousin that's been accused of it, I have not seen that man since the day they accused him of it. And my daughter wasn't even born yet. He's never seen my child, never will see my child, ever. I don't talk to him, and that was one of my favorite because we did everything together. But I'm also a victim of growing up like that too. So maybe a form of it is trauma, or maybe it's just me being more responsible and smarter than my parent was. I don't play them games. One accusation is enough for me to be like, well, you might be cool, and I'm pretty sure your heart's in a good place, but you need to take that place someplace else. It's not around me or my kids or any kids that I deal with. So this frustrates me to hear that. So I definitely feel that deputy back there at the door that's getting irritated hearing these two old bats talk and sound bananas like that. Because they sound crazy.
What are they taking meds for?
Hyper, whatever age.
Oh, ADHD?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got ADHD. I'm not beating kids.
What you said?
I said I got ADHD and I'm not beating kids.
They said he
deputy
takes
steps aside
medication
once
for
again
ADHD.
to let his superior
Yeah.
know about his accumulating suspicions.
That's not an excuse
And
to be beating on kids.
the owner and the head person here all know about his problems. And they're nervous as hell right now because they realize they know if when I watch the video and it shows what they're saying to me, I'm going to have to go arrest them. But my thing is, they're saying the
because
kid's
they
all
knew.
welted up and stuff like that. The teacher knew about it. The teacher didn't say jack until later tonight when she was confronted about it. Yeah, so I think it was a little hush-hush job going on here because they have already admitted to me that a couple of parents have came forward to them about, hey, what's up with this dude? We looked into him, and they're kind of like hushing him down like, oh, no, it's nothing. I think these people know that they're probably in for a lawsuit because they're acting real nervous. And like, oh, yeah, we knew about his past, but the parents still loved him. I go, okay.
Right.
The deputies know about the charges on Dante's record, but it's only when they pull up the official filing that they begin to piece together specifics about what the principal was arrested for 7 years ago.
Summer of 2017, I was staying at the Royal Kids Camp where Prophet was camp counselor. Yep. The camp allowing counselor to contact him if necessary. He said Prophet contacted him for the first time because himself and his nephew.
According to the Ocala Police Department report, Dante gave letters to the child at the end of camp, writing in part, "You know that I love you and I always will." Dante kept in touch with the child over the coming months, inviting him to his apartment to watch a movie in November 2017.
For what?
The report
Watch a
alleges
movie.
that Dante laid down behind the minor on the couch and asked him, "Do you feel that?" when there was inappropriate contact. According to the report, both the victim and Dante were clothed at the time.
Awesome.
Oh my
And he's not a
God.
registered sex
Who
offender?
let that
No, I
child
think he
go
was too
over
young.
there?
I think it was fell into Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, his age?
Yeah.
Oh.
At the time, he fell into Romeo and Juliet, which just means he doesn't have to register as a sex offender.
Under Florida's Romeo and Juliet law, offenders who
Romeo
meet
and
certain
Juliet
criteria
law.
can avoid the official offender registry, even if they're convicted of the underlying crime. It should be noted, however, that in Dante's case, prosecutors dropped the molestation charge entirely, and the court withheld adjudication on the charge of interfering with child custody. His profit organization website credits him with having faced and overcome false charges.
So you got lucky.
So wait a minute. So let me get this straight. Florida got some shit called Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet is a story, right? It is a story that's written up. We know this story. We know the play. We know about it, right? And they took a fictional ass story and made a law out of it. And the story of Romeo and Juliet, Juliet, it don't got nothing to do with no old man and no child, no molestation that I recall, unless I'm missing something. But it didn't have nothing to do with that. So why would that law apply to molestation, to a sex offender not having to register? Like I'm telling y'all, they make up these laws that just, I don't care what nobody say. When they are making these laws, they're mostly being made by some perverted men. And they're making the laws so that it seems like they're putting enough pressure on people not to break the law. But at the same time, there's some type of weird looping in that. It always does. When it comes to sex crimes, I swear to God, the laws and the loops around it be the most awkward shit. Like, why is there any loops around these type of things? I don't understand it. But for Florida to have a Romeo and Juliet law to where a sex offender doesn't have to register as a sex offender because he fell right underneath that law, but yet he's offending kids, like, but this is Florida, and I'm sorry for all my viewers that may be watching it from Florida. I'm sure not all of y'all are like gator brains, but I swear to God, I really feel like some Floridians are like straight off their effing rocker. Something is wrong with Florida sea breeze or the oxygen in that area or something, because it'd be like y'all being choked in rational realization of common sense. It's so far-fetched from you being able to grasp and inhale and breathe properly with, because some of the choices that come out of that state be like blowing my fucking mind. Whoa. But I won't blame it solely on the state, because it is laws being made by our Congress. So those people are choosing to make those type of damn laws. But as citizens in that state, y'all should be like knocking on doors, like, take that shit down. That's not okay, because they should have known this man had this. I mean, they knew of these situations, and maybe they seen it as somebody accused him of something, and because the case wasn't closed with him being guilty, or they say that one was dropped, they feel like he was vindicated. That doesn't mean he was vindicated. That just means they didn't find enough evidence to press it, or they didn't take it to the level of what it could be charged with because there wasn't enough stuff there. But that doesn't mean he wasn't a weirdo. The fact that he was writing a little boy, a child, telling him to come over and watch movies was enough for you to know you weird. But again, that's that sweeping under the rug. And don't get it twisted. Let me make something very clear. It's not just black families, but in a black community, we talk about black families that do that because that's the community we know. But the truth of the matter is, I have friends that are white and that are Asian, and they talk about the same thing, how their family sweeps a lot of the things that are horrific about their family under the rug, and it's just no talk about it. It's not just in black families. It's actually in every family, because who the fuck wants to literally be out there admitting that my uncle is a weirdo completely? Nobody. But unfortunately, if they're a weirdo, you have to, because you have to protect yourself, your family, and anybody else. Your family member is a monster. You need to say something. But it doesn't just happen in black families. It actually happens under a lot of families. It just irritates me because that is my culture. Okay, that's what I know. And it irritates me when I see them do stuff like this, make excuses or try to say little things to make it seem like a soft issue when it's not. It's a major issue. This person was a pervert. You guys knew some type of accusations came up about them being a pervert. And that should have been enough for you to say, unfortunately, you're not a good fit here with our kids. Maybe have them do something else in the church. I don't know. But just where no kids are around. Period. No children. Not a single one. And it just pisses me off. But again, like I said, this type of stuff happens to everybody in every different culture. There's a lot of families, no matter what the race is or culture is or ethnicity, there's a lot of families that sweep that under because it's such a hard thing to grasp sometimes, especially when you find out somebody in your family that you guys may respect and look up to is actually a monster. It's hard to absorb, like to really grasp that information and be like, is this for real? But once you know it's for real, to victimize the people that were hurt by that family member by hiding it or covering up or sweeping it on the rug or not addressing it and making sure everybody's safe, that's probably to me more painful than anything, you know? And in this situation, they basically want to make it seem like it's not a big deal. And then the state has a law that helps them not make it a big deal, which is a law that shouldn't be there at all, so that they have to register so people can know this. It low-key pisses me off to even know that they thought that's a good idea. Like, it just, anyways, let's get back to it.
Yeah. That's right. Well, he's not getting lucky tonight, I promise you.
The surveillance video will undoubtedly be crucial to the investigation, but the deputies know they must also speak to the victim. The founder of the school calls the child's mom and passes her phone to the deputy, a decision she may soon regret.
Here, you want me to talk to her?
The sheriff want to talk to you.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Hello, sir. How you doing?
Hey, do you mind bringing your son up here so we can talk to you guys? Because we're going to have to talk to him regardless.
I understand. I'm just a little taken aback right now. I'm just trying to get my bearings because I was almost asleep myself.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm supposed to wake my son up and bring him out there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes! Why
Have
is that
you
a
noticed
problem?
any bruising or lumps or anything on your son's face or body or anything?
He felt like Mr. Prophet hit him with something. I said, I don't know if they were sports playing. I don't know, but I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean?
The mom ultimately agrees to bring him up to the school, but as the deputy hands...
I'm sorry. No, I do not know what you mean, heifer. Because as soon as your kid came in and said one of them grown-ass people at the school hit me with something, it should have been like, hit you with a what? Hold up. I got a story time. I'm gonna try not to talk too much more because I got a story time to tell you at the end. Because I'm going to tell, listen, it took a long time for me to get to where I'm at. I was I'll tell y'all later. Just understand, before I became a mother, I was a very violent person. When I became a mother, I still remained violent, but on a protection level because that mama bear instinct was something, and it's still very much so something. But let my child ever have come home and said somebody put their hands on them. She talking about she was just about to be asleep, so she's trying to wake up and get her bearing. But your kid came home earlier and told you see welts on his face. Your kid came home and told you that he thinks, which is crazy, he said he thinks the teacher hit him, which now makes the question, what did he actually say? And either way it goes, you seen a scar on your kid's face, you seen a lump, a bump. You should have been able to say, well, what kind of horseplay shit was this? Why you got marks like swoles and... Oh, no, somebody round them up. Everybody meet me I would have been at that church. If the school and the church, they all together, right? Bang, bang, bang. Somebody about to come out here and holler at me. Or you better hurry up and get Jesus here. Something about to happen. Because that's how I would be. Because that's how I am. Because when it comes to kids, and especially mine, that's how I am. There's no way. And then you sitting up here like, I got to bring my child up there? Yes. When you want to bring your child up there, when you want to get it, get back to the video, child.
Hands the pastor's phone back. He notices something alarming in her recent call history.
All right. Did you call Donnie Prophet?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Why I called?
Yeah, why'd you call? Did you talk to him on the phone?
No.
Don't call him back.
Don't call him.
If he calls you back, don't tell him we're here. Don't tell him he's under investigation. Don't ask him about what happened.
Yeah, do not call him, please.
Which is crazy. Why are you calling him?
Yeah, we want to get our ducks in a row before we talk to him, before he has time to put a story together in his head about what happened.
Or leave town.
Yeah.
Realizing that the school's other top official, Dr. Vi, has disappeared from view, the deputies track her down to make sure she's not also trying to reach out to Dante.
Ma'am? Oh, okay.
Oh, she called him twice, and I saw that it wasn't a missed call either. It was an answer because I saw the seconds next to it.
Did you?
Yeah. She probably called him and warned him. Have you tried to call Donnie?
Apostle did.
I know. Did you? Yeah.
Did she talk to him?
No, he didn't answer.
Okay, good. Yeah, we can't have people calling.
Pardon?
So we can't have people calling.
I mean, I guess I can see if they said...
No. He's got a history of running.
While the
because he got a history of running. I can see if they were calling because they're the schools and he's one of their employees at the time. And if they called him like, yes, I need you to understand that we need you to bring your ass to this school because we need to talk about an incident today, then I can understand that. But if y'all are calling him while the police are here right now, that do seem weird unless you're calling them like, hey, the police are here, you need to come over here, we need to talk to you. But they're not answering it like that. They're answering it like, yeah, we did. Like they knew they were sneaking to call him like, warning, run. Like, why? What is wrong with people and especially effing women? Why do you want to protect somebody that can be potentially a danger to anybody and everybody else? I don't get that mentality on some of these women, and I ain't gonna lie, especially these older women, black, white, Mexican. I don't give a damn. Y'all mind is so just garbage dump truck ass minds in my book, because I have seen so many older people want to give pass to these men, and it just like history done mess y'all up so damn bad. Now I don't know why these women were calling him, but it does seem weird. Like, why would you be calling him at all? You don't take a rocket scientist to know a situation like this. They're going to investigate him. They're probably going to arrest him, and calling him is not the best thing to do. Who would need to be told that? Who don't got sense to know that? This case is kind of low key. It's pissing me off because you can tell this is a church that knew about it, wanted to hide it. When people brought it up, wanted to dismiss it, and now they want to help try to cover up some shit right now. You can tell. And it's pissing me off because they want to swear up and down on the altar, Jesus, hallelujah, God, the Holy Ghost, all this, all day long. And please don't get it twisted. I believe in God. I even believe Jesus is the prophet. Well, was the son of God. Was the story of Jesus. I'll say it like that. But I ain't about to get into no religious stuff, okay? Don't come at me with that. But I believe in God. I don't believe in religions. Catholic, Christian, Baptist. I don't believe in none of that. I believe that's things that people, they play on people's faith and their hopes and their beliefs. And they build these buildings and they give somebody a certificate because they read the Bible, they did some studying, and they say, you're good enough to tell the people where their sins or where their souls is going to go based on their sins. Shut that shit off. Because the same people sitting in them pulpits are the same people that's committing more sins than anybody. They can't tell you a damn thing. And it pisses me off because these ladies are supposed to be leaders. What does she call herself? The Apostle T? What kind of apostle are you, Buki? You're a weird one. You're definitely not rocking with the God of creation of all things. You're not. I think you have your God mixed up with something else that you think is the God. Because that to me is wicked. And yes, I'm pissed off. This is the story I'm pissed off about. Mind you, I don't watch these most of the time until right here when I sit down and I record. So my reactions are real authentic, and I didn't watch this one, and this is one I wish I did watch, because some of them I do watch a little bit so I can get an idea, but most of the time I don't watch them. This is one I did not watch, and I wish I did, because I probably wouldn't have done this recording, because it's pissing me off. They're pissing me off. But let me get to it, because this shouldn't be no longer than an hour video. So let me finish this shit up.
The officer mentions about Dante's history of running. We haven't been able to confirm the basis of this statement from the records we have access to.
Right, so
Before
why did he
police
say
can
that?
think about tracking
If they don't have
Dante
no record
down,
of it.
however, they need the full story.
You talking
The
about
fifth grade
he's used to
victim
running.
arrives,
Where'd you get that
giving
info
them their
from?
first chance to hear about the incident firsthand.
So what happened today, Mom? What happened between you and Mr.
That's
Prophet?
the child and the mom?
The boy begins with a story that matches what Dr. Vise said earlier. He was pulled from class along with a few other fifth-grade boys. Soon enough, however, the other boys were sent away and he was left alone in the room with the principal.
I didn't want to be in the room at that time, so I couldn't even excuse myself because he wouldn't even let me go to the door.
Did he ever throw you on the ground?
He did hit me on the ground.
He did hit you?
And I don't think like about...
Where did he hit you?
Well, the thing that hurts the most is inside of my
Can I see your hip?
Yeah,
inside of my face?
Like, it's right here.
Here, show me it. You're okay.
You're outside. I got you. I'm right here. Go ahead.
Right there.
Here, show me.
He wants you to see. He wants to see.
It was like a line, a big line bump. And she was like,
Can you see?
it looked like you got hit hard.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, that's how the puppy hit me with that computer cord thing.
Yeah.
The child's
God,
mother
he's holding
says
a
that she
computer
first
cord.
heard something about the altercation during a doctor's appointment this afternoon.
He told the doctor, like, what do you do about all over body pain? I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, just, well, you know, just all over body pain. Like, really, it hurts here. And
It hurt his hips?
Yeah, he said it hurts here.
He told the doctor that?
He told the doctor on the television. He said.
Oh, it was a television?
Yeah, it was a television. She was like, I said, well, maybe it's growing pains, you know, because he's getting tall.
Do you need anything else to tell us, buddy? Did he touch you?
Listen to me. Watch me. Look at Mama. You are safe.
Oh, I'm gonna make sure of that, Bubba. I promise you that.
You are safe. And I will protect you with everything. If there's something you need to say, you need to say it. We will take it, and we will do what we have to do to make sure everything is right, okay? Did Mr. Prophet touch you in any way that is not appropriate?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes,
I feel like
What did or didn't happen today will soon be clear, because the secretary...
I feel like the way the mother did that, she shouldn't have asked it like that, because what you're saying is inappropriate, and the kid's mind on top is, you know, did he touch your no-no places, things like that. It's probably what's coming to his mind. But she said out her mouth earlier that the kid said, I think Mr. Prophet hit me with something, and you know your child had wealth. Now you're saying he was at the doctor's talking about all over body pain. But now you want to tell that baby, this is a safe space. Anything you need to say it right now. But he was telling you and giving you hints, and you didn't pick up on none of that shit. None of it. At all. I'm agitated with you. I'm super agitated with you. Then you sat there talking about, well, did he do anything inappropriate, touch you inappropriate? He's thinking, probably in the nasty manner, because the kid said no, when the reality is, yes, he did. When he slammed you to the floor, that was inappropriate. When he got on top of you, that was inappropriate. That is inappropriate touching. But that baby didn't know how to distinguish that difference, because he's thinking about probably when mommy says nobody's supposed to touch your no area, that's what he's thinking inappropriate. Because what she should have said is, baby, you safe, and I want you to tell me everything that happened this afternoon. Tell the officers, I'm standing here with you. You're okay. You could tell everything that happened this afternoon. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you earlier and hear you all the way. But now I want you to tell everything that happened in there, how he touched you, how he talked to you, everything. I want you to tell it all, baby. You're not in trouble. It's not what she did. She told him, look at me, and then she was really stern with it, and I know it was her just trying to make sure that he understood that he was safe, but at the same time, it wasn't soft tone enough probably to make him feel comfortable, because the tone almost sounded like, damn, you saying I ain't going to be in trouble, but it's a tone like I'm going to be in trouble, which sends confusing thought processes to a child. And at the end of the day, I don't give a damn. When your kid told you that he thinks a grown-ass person may have bopped him in the head, and you see a bop on his head, that was anything with a knot is enough for me to be on somebody's phone like, the hell is going on? And if you can't answer, I'm on my way to you. Catch me outside. How about that? Like, for real. The prophets and the mama, they irritate me. They're irritating me bad.
Perry finally arrives with her computer, and it won't be long before the police realize that this incident was
the
far
footage
worse
is kept
than
on her computer. It's not somewhere in the school
Is the video on
where
your
they can
laptop?
get access to it.
Multiple. All today? Okay.
No, you just see it. No, but you need.
No, the subject is still 97 standing outside the bedroom door waiting for Leo.
The video begins with Dante sitting across from the boy, who has his head down on the desk. The principal gets up and walks over to the boy and begins prodding him, perhaps in an attempt to get his attention. But it isn't long before these antagonizing taunts spiral into something much more chaotic, and the situation soon escalates from chair wrestling into a full-fledged struggle for control.
I know it's kind of hard to see.
The child is clearly desperate to escape the principal's grasp, but Dante is equally determined to keep the boy under his power. In an almost unbelievable scene, Dante wrestles the boy to the floor and straddles him. But even after getting the boy under his control, Dante continues to behave in a way that alarms the deputy.
Why is he patting him like that?
Why is he what? Patting him like that?
He's rubbing his lower back.
Rubbing his lower back and head.
Makes sense for his other charges.
Makes sense for his other charges.
Broke out the chokehold. He's trying to get him a chokehold.
He's putting him in a chokehold.
You should probably watch this.
Pardon?
I said you probably should watch this.
Yes, you should.
I wouldn't need to watch it.
Work around the kids.
Remarkably, the altercation is interrupted several times over the course of the video.
You have to see where he's in purpose being aggressive. The kid doesn't have a chance. He's aggressive. Man.
Or text me your notes with her info.
No, who's this kid?
That's one of her kids, and where did she go in for?
No idea.
Did she say
I don't even know.
That was probably scary to go in and you see a teacher doing this to another student.
At one point, the boy sees an opportunity to escape that he can't pass up, leading to one of the video's most shocking moments.
Look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, there it is.
Trying to run.
He tried to leave and he just threw him on the ground.
Oh, if you can't see it, y'all, I know it's really blurry.
But although the visuals from the video are hard to watch, they aren't compelling for everyone in the room.
I don't know what that means. They're not compelling for everybody in the room. We're going to find out in a minute. But I did want to just make sure. This is one of our EWU videos from the EWU Body Cam channel. Again, if you haven't checked them out and followed them, you should definitely do so. This is where I get a lot of my videos from because they're always bringing up some true crimes that you don't hear about in the news. You may not ever hear about unless you find it right there in EWU Video Body Cams. I love this channel. That's their logo, the wolf there that you see. And they're also using that to cover up some of the probably really heinous things that we see going on there. But from what I can see, even on my end, he was at one point choking the baby. Another point, you see him slamming the baby down when he tried to get away. It's going to be a little blurry, but I mean, honestly, use your imagination, which for me personally, I don't even want to imagine seeing anything like this. But I mean, basically, you can pretty much put in your head what was going down in this situation, you know? So I just wanted to let that be known. But this is a EWU Body Cam production video. or author. I'd like to call them author videos because they're the authors that created this video, and I'm doing the review to it. Okay.
So you don't think he was playing with you?
What? She said, so
Play?
you don't think he was playing?
No, ma'am. He's going to jail tonight.
She's still questioning him?
At times, Dante's movements are slow and methodical, and the camera catches it when he slings a computer cord of some kind at the boy several times. The child later said that it was this cord that caused a visible mark on his face.
I think we got it.
But for as much as the deputies have already seen, the video doesn't end there, and the horror of the ongoing bullying leaves the women nearly speechless.
Spirit, when we called that, they was overtaken and expecting the spirit right there.
Did he drag him from underneath the
snap? Yes. No reality. Yes. None. Now. No reality.
What's he doing that one?
None. He had snapped. None. He had snapped.
Snap. No, he didn't
He
snap.
was trying to get away.
He done did this a few times. There's no snapping.
That's when he just hit him in the face, or he just smacked him in the face.
Was that?
Hmm?
No.
At times, the confrontation devolves into intense physical conflict, and Dante is the relentless aggressor.
Starts trying to twist his ankle, sit on him.
That he need him.
You just need him.
He need him. Oh my word. He had him by his leg and he needed him. Oh, because there was a point where I tried to walk in and I couldn't get in.
Oh, he locked you from coming in?
Because he was sitting in front of the door.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on. This lady over there in the red shirt standing behind the lady in the big blue dress. She said there was a point in time when she tried to come in the room, but she couldn't get in because the principal was sitting against the door, blocking her from getting in. You telling me nobody was hearing this kid? The baby boy wasn't yelling. He wasn't crying. There was nothing. He was just sitting there letting somebody just rag dog him around. And there was no sound coming out that class. So that even when she came to that door and she couldn't get in, you should have found that weird. Why the hell I can't get in? Why are you against the door, sir? I believe I hear another child in there. That wasn't enough. All of them are at fault. All of them should go to jail because they all participated in a loud abuse up in that place. They all should go to jail. And if they're not all going to jail, ain't nothing I can do but be pissed in my inside. Because that's insane. Because you guys all knew that he had this background. You all knew that he was this is probably not the first time at all. That's the thing. Because for you to say that you went to the door and couldn't get in, and I'm guaranteeing you guys had to have heard a child on the other side of that door. You didn't think anything was strange about that? No. Because it's probably something that's happened before and you guys let it fly by like it's okay. Sick, mess up, mental...
But even with the women clearly horrified by what unfolded today at their school, the deputy remains suspicious of Destiny's founder.
I don't know what she's trying to hide.
Yeah, I'm suspicious of all y'all.
But she seems like she has something going on with Donnie about...
What? Well, she just passed her, you know.
Well, Donnie don't got a good past, I'll tell you that much. And he shouldn't be around kids.
He should not.
I think she's in disbelief. Because honestly, I think that's what it is. She called you guys before she seen the video.
I got you. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Knowing his past, I'm not shocked.
Okay, yeah.
And he shouldn't be around kids at all.
At all.
Because he's got a nasty little past.
I hear her now. She was talking about how upsetting it is because in her eyes, he's an upstanding person.
Yeah, I disagree.
I disagree too. He's an upstanding person.
I'm pretty sure she does too. Now.
No, she better.
All told, the video of the altercation goes on for more than 53 minutes, a shocking length of time for any violent encounter, much less one between a principal and a student. Making matters worse, the school secretary says that he's the last kid anyone would expect trouble from.
Super intelligent, probably the smartest kid.
Probably smarter than me.
He's gonna get the principal award. Very respectful, very mannerable.
As for the other deputy, he lets the school's administrators know that he's seen enough.
I don't know what you guys are going to do in-house wise, but I'm going to go find him and I'm taking him to jail for aggravated child abuse. Okay, it's a second-degree felony in the state, and you won't get a bond.
So what you mean? You don't know what we gonna do?
No. I'm saying I don't know what you guys are doing in-house wise. Firing them, get rid of them, whatever you guys are doing. I'm saying on my end, I'm taking him to jail tonight.
Oh, he's not. It's no way that he can be here.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been there to begin with.
No, Can't wait to think about that.
You should have thought
Of
about
course,
it.
the main obstacle
when y'all
now
knew
will be
he had a
finding
past,
Dante
though.
Prophet, a challenge he'll have to face without the help of Destiny's founder.
Does anybody know where he lives? Pastor, do you know where he lives?
No. I don't get it.
Y'all don't even know where the man lives?
Okay.
The deputy knows that he may still have a long night ahead
Y'all
of
don't
him,
got no
but he
address
takes the time to
information?
check with one last person before he leaves.
Is there anything else you need to tell me, Bubba?
No, sir.
No? Okay. I'm sorry this happened to you, man, alright? I'm going to do my best to get him, okay? You take care of this, okay? You're a good kid, man. You're a strong kid, alright? Remember, look at me. You did nothing wrong, okay?
Okay.
Alright?
The deputy doesn't have a beat on Dante's exact location, but he does have a phone number. Unfortunately, Dante is extremely reluctant to meet in person.
Hey, where you at, buddy? We got to talk.
Oh, he answered.
Yes, sir.
What do you have to talk about?
Well, we could talk about that in person.
You know damn well.
Do you have an incident with another child today at school?
What's happening? No.
That's what I'm asking, sir. I mean, I'm not trying to ask you pointed directed questions here. I mean, did you have an incident with a student today at Destiny?
I did not.
Okay. Well, where are you at now? So I got to talk to you, Bubba.
You're going to have to contact the lawyer.
Okay, so if you didn't have no
Having failed to
incident, why you
convince
feel the
Dante
need
to
to
meet
contact a
voluntarily,
lawyer?
the cops head out to the address they have on
Like,
file for him.
oh, God.
How you doing? Is there a Dante Prophet here?
No, sir.
Where's he at?
We haven't seen him.
We haven't seen him?
No, sir.
So he's not here at all?
No, he hasn't been saying it. What?
Yeah, he did some not good things today, and he's running from us, so. All right, well, I appreciate it.
No, sir.
Thank you.
But if Dante's on the run, it doesn't last. He finally agrees to meet with the deputies at Immerse Church, only a few hundred yards away from Destiny Leadership Academy. The deputy begins by reading him his Miranda rights before Dante launches into his story, which starts with some unsettling comments supposedly made by the student. Claims that are Dante's alone and haven't been independently verified.
You know the old lady definitely did try to call. We know that. Like he said, he's seen it twice on the phone. Even the other lady was like, yeah, she tried to call. He didn't answer. But I'm sure they know how to text message. I'm sure they know how to text message. And I got a feeling she text messaged for him to be that close. I mean, he could have took his time and drove over there by now. But what if he was just there the whole time watching? He's seen. He knew it was up. Look at him. He just looks like the type of, oh my God. It just,
She wanted to hurt himself, hurt me, you know.
He's making statements.
Yeah, and hurt me, hurt himself.
Why would you say something like that?
Hurt the school. Because lately he's been kind of having some hard times.
Okay.
For him lately.
What do you mean by hurt the school?
Says occasionally crazy statements. So, you know, and, you know, he have said that he want to shoot up the school. He want to blow
you
up the school.
lying your ass
I don't
off.
think he's going to actually do it.
Okay, but those are statements he made to you today?
But even if he did say that, that's not how you handle that.
Run out the room. And one time I had to grab him and stop him from running out of the gate into traffic.
Okay.
And that's what he said he was going to do.
Were you trying to prevent him from running out?
Oh, 100%.
What did you do? How did you try to prevent him?
I grabbed him, which of course.
Okay. Which of course.
After that, he did spit on me, but.
Oh, he spit on. Where did he spit on you at?
In my face.
Oh, okay. By grabbing, what do you mean you grabbed him?
Meaning that I grabbed him. I tried to.
Did you grab his arm, his leg, his hand?
I probably did all of it.
Okay.
To restrain him.
You were trying to restrain him?
I want to keep him safe.
The deputy, who has seen more than he's letting on, doesn't seem to appear convinced of this defense.
Yeah,
so you're telling me this, and I've talked to everybody else at school there today?
Yeah.
Everybody. And they all told me the same story about him. Very smart, very intellectual.
Very smart, very intellectual.
Not one of them ever mentioned to me ever about him ever making statements before. Stop. I did. They all
said he made sexual statements?
They all said that he's never, because those are the type of questions I ask. I say, hey, is he a misbehaved kid? Does he misbehave at all? Does he cause problems? They said no.
If Dante still feels that he may have a chance to talk his way out of this dilemma, the deputy soon closes the door on that possibility.
So, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a security camera in that room.
There is.
Yeah, and it caught everything on camera.
Wait,
everything.
so he
Especially
asked
when
that
he had
like,
his head down and you came up and started grabbing him on the legs and poking him and grabbing him in the chest when he wasn't talking
this
at
fool
all.
didn't even know it was
His
camera
head was just
on.
down and you approached him. So why'd you do that?
Okay. At the time when I'm poking, I'm not hurting him. I'm trying to get his attention. He said he was going to hurt him.
But you're touching him.
I'm not hurting him at that time.
But you're touching him.
I want to get his attention.
Okay, but are you allowed to touch somebody without their permission?
If I'm not hurting him, I don't think.
No.
No!
With that said, there's only one last thing to do.
Turn around from him. James, bring it back. You're under arrest, okay? Yeah.
Now, you was in there beating that baby for an hour. It'd be one thing if you was like, if the child was in there
I don't
for
believe
like,
that you're trying to stop him for the hour and 15 minutes that the video is recorded.
hour and 15 minutes?
By you kneeing him in the head with the welt on the side of his head from hitting him with the cable from the computer.
I did not.
You need him.
Boy, we saw you.
I didn't say in his head. Need him. What about when you got him in an ankle lock or in a chokehold? None of that? Good. Okay. Well, you'll have your day in court, sir. So I just want to let you know that is some of the best surveillance video footage I've ever seen in my life.
He said that was some of the best, letting you know that it's clear as day. We can see exactly everything you did.
Job, by the way.
Yeah.
The deputy's prediction turned out to be correct. Destiny Leadership Academy told the media that weekend they had terminated Dante.
I wish there was sound in that video, but if I saw the video, I feel the same way.
Dante Prophet was charged with one felony count of cruelty toward a child and one count of false imprisonment, the latter of which was later dropped by prosecutors.
I don't understand why
Dante Prophet pled not guilty to the felony charge. Jury selection for his trial is scheduled to begin in
February 2025. Iwu also reached out to the school and the school district, but they did not respond.
So like I said, I didn't watch this one, so my reaction, sorry if it was much on this video, but it was like everybody was really irritating me because everybody was failing this child, and God knows how many other children they failed. I don't know if anything else has come out with other kids complaining about him, but as it says, he goes to trial February 2025, which is in 2 months from now, so maybe Iwu will get more information and share it on here so we can follow up on this case. Maybe I'll even go and try to follow up and see what happens. Bottom line is he should go to jail. He should have to register as a child abuser, sex offender, all of that, because that's what he is. It's insane that people in this video were literally trying to find ways to make excuses for him. It's insane that a mother was told by her child, after seeing scars on his face, that an adult of whatever their title is may or may not have put their hands on. That would have been enough for me to call, because I need to find out, what is your may or may not? What do you mean you think? We would have been had a conversation. She didn't say nothing about the medical place until after they got there. And even then, when that baby say body wounds all over, you talking about maybe that's some gross stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm telling y'all, people just blow my mind. They blow my mind how much they lack giving a shit about things that they should give a shit about. They really do. And when it comes to being a parent, that is your sole and only job, but to protect your child away from everybody. That has always been my motto and will always be my motto. Now, when I first moved to the South, before I moved to the state that I'm in now, we did go to Alabama first, okay? We went to Alabama. I stayed in Alabama for like 2.5 years. I stayed in like Birmingham and Anniston, back and forth, because I had a contract job out there in Birmingham, and Hoover, because I ended up getting a townhouse, which was a fucking nightmare. I gotta tell y'all about that. The whole townhouse and the roaches through the ceiling and the stove story. I'm gonna have to do that later. But basically, we lived out there for 2.5 years. I didn't stay long because Alabama, no offense, I'm a Cali girl, and I was like, oh my God, I almost feel like half y'all ain't got the memo that y'all are free. I'm gonna need y'all to know that y'all are free. And you have to, if you come from city life, you come from like a big state that's busy, and we're cultural and stuff like that, you'll understand what I mean if you move to Alabama, you'll be like, oh shit, yeah, they don't know. Because some of them act like that. So Alabama was a lot, and they still got some very old rules. And my daughter was going to a school in Anniston. A situation happened that did get a little legal. My daughter didn't get in trouble. She got in trouble along with her friends, but didn't get in trouble. There was no excuses, because when I tell you, my daughter had to go through the ringer. Like, she was punished. There was a lot of different things, because what she did was something silly and stupid, but she didn't think about the consequence that would follow with it. That'll be a different story time later because she's an adult now and I could talk about it. You know, she thought what she was doing was right with her friends, but in reality it was wrong because of what it was. And it ended up causing a big not super big, but a big enough situation. Big enough that I remember weeks prior to that talking about how schools used to spank their kids back in the day. And they had talked about some of the schools in Alabama that still do that. And I had distinctly said, not with the minds would you, okay? Nobody better put their hands on my kid. Like, what? It kind of made my tweaker side start tweaking a little bit. I got to shaking and stuff because I was like, what? That ain't never happening with mine. And that's just how I felt with it and left it right there. So when this situation occurred, I get a call from the school that there's a situation and I need to come up there. And I'm like, no doubt. That's all you got to say. I'm grabbing my stuff right now. I'm on my way. I should be there in like 15 minutes. As I'm on my way to the school, I get another call from my neighbor like, yeah, you know, I just got through picking up such and such, her child. And she's like, you know, this is what happened, da, 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 da. She admitted I'm about to go back to the school because she was a part of it with your kid. So I just kind of like, I want them to just get it out there so they know everything that's going on. And I was like, no doubt, thank you for letting me know because that parent was able to give me a little more detail on why I'm coming up there because they didn't say much on the phone except for there's been a problem. And I'm like, okay. So I go up there or whatnot. Well, before I get up there, while I'm on the phone with her, she says, yeah, she was a little nervous because she said she didn't want to get the paddle. And I was like, because what they did, this was inappropriate. They should not have done this. I get what they thought they were doing by being shady, but it's inappropriate. So we're going to handle this. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, my child is probably going to get her butt tapped too. And she was like, no, not by me, but by the school. And I was like, what you mean by the school? She was like, girl, you know, they still paddle up there. Hit the gas harder. Cause what? Who paddles? Paddles what? What? Girl, I was done talking to that girl when she said that because I'm thinking, my child is still at the school. You got your child. They talking about come up there. I'm telling you right now, if anybody put their hands on my kid, I don't give a what is going on. I'm literally about to flip this school upside down and rip everything out of the walls. I'm about to go dumb in here. Y'all don't really understand how cuckoo I really am. So I get to the school, and when I get in there, my daughter's nowhere in the front. She's somewhere in the back with a principal, a teacher, and an officer. I didn't know the officer was back there when I started flipping the hell out. Because I started flipping out because as I'm saying who I am, and my daughter is here, and there's a situation, the lady on the desk want to have this like stanky, extra stank attitude or whatnot. And I was like, listen here, all I need to know is where my daughter is because I've been told something about this paddle stuff that y'all do. I'm not into all of that. All that, think you can whoop my kid, bet not nobody put their hands on my kid. She gonna say, well, that's actually a law here. I said, the words I said was not nice. Started drilling in her ass. I don't give what kind of law you think it is. Ain't no law where somebody gonna put their hands on my child because as far as I'm concerned, that means that I have to enact the law of protecting my child, and that may mean somebody getting their head blown off, okay? So, again, my child better not be hit by nothing. So she going back and forth with me. By this time now, I'm so upset. I done stood on top of the administration counter, like when you first walk into the office. I'm standing on top of it, and I'm kind of leaning down in her face, and I'm letting her know, let me go back there, my child, because I'm about to just walk past you to this back door. And if my child has been hit by anybody, I'm hitting all y'all in the worst way. Don't trip. I'm going to go to jail, and my auntie's going to get me out, and then I'm going to come back up here, and I'm going to act up again. And my auntie's prepared for that because she know I'm going to keep doing dumb shit in the sake of my child. So, I'm telling you now, I'm about to go in this door. So, I'm flipping out. I'm flipping. I done cussed everything. I done knocked shit off the counter, all this stuff. Finally, the principal walks out, and so does the officer. They both walk out, and they looking at me, and they're like, calm down. I'm like, no, where's my child? Y'all threatening to put your hands on my child. Da-da-da-da. So, I was really upset. Very, very upset. The officer was like, please calm down. Get down here. I get down. They're like, listen, nobody's putting their hands on your child. Where'd you get that from? I said, because y'all paddle rule. This whole y'all spank kids and all this other shit. Don't paddle my kid. I know that I've heard what the situation is about. We gonna handle it. If anybody gonna whoop my child, it's me. I whoop my child. Her daddy don't even get to whoop her. What are we talking about? And it's not because he's not allowed to be a man in her life. It's just me and him both agree that men should not be hitting their daughters. That's just something we don't agree in. Our son, if he has to whoop our son, he probably will whoop our son. But even then, we just don't really get down like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got our kids handled, basically, okay? So I'm just ready to go off because all I know is that y'all talking about whooping my kid, and that's a no-no. I don't know what that's about, but the school doesn't have a right to punish our kids at any shape, form, none of that. That's why you pick up the phone and you call the parents, tell the parents come get them kids. Suspend them, expel them, give them detention, whatever, but don't put your hands on kids. So after all was said and done, they got me calm, they sit me down, finally go in the office, we go over what the situation was. As I'm talking to the principal tells me how he's from Cali, he's from a particular part that my family's from, and I look at him, I said, so what makes you think that that's some okay stuff? He said, I'm going to tell you something, out of all the years, the 11 years I worked here, I've never paddled a kid one time. He goes, that is one of the rules in their book, but I would never do it. And I'm like, listen here, I don't care what rules they got in what books. I'm telling you right now, you a Cali cat, just like I'm a Cali cat. And what you think I would do if you had actually put your hands on my kid? He said, if you Cali like I think you Cali, and you showing you Cali like that, I mean, I'm saying it would have been some problems. So I'm glad that you recognize and understand that. Don't ever put your hands on my kid. Nobody puts their hands on my kid. She's doing something she ain't supposed to do. That's what I'm here for. As long as God gives me breath, all you got to do is pick up the phone and call me, and I'll handle that. Don't put your hands on my kid. I'm not looking for nobody to be my child's punisher, abuser, whooper, spanker, nanny, none of that. So keep your motherfucking hands off my child. They understood. The situation was what it was. It got handled. It got taken care of. My child did not get in trouble. Things were fine. But at the end of the day, that school knew I wasn't the one to play with. Cop or no cop, don't put your hands on my kid. That's just a no-no. And in this situation here, this man, whatever his made-up ass story is, because the kid had an attitude because he spit in my face, whatever it is, it's not okay for kids to act out. That's a fact. But it's even more so not okay for you to put your hands on somebody's kid. And I talk my little shit like, I'd be like, I wish somebody's kid would, I'll slap him up. I'm not going to slap up your kid. I'm going to call you and I'm going to tell you, you either got to catch this fade for your kid or come here and show me you know how to handle your child that's out of control, because I would. I'm either going to catch the fade with that mama, or I'm going to show them that I know how to handle my child, and hopefully they accept that and keep it moving. Just that plain and simple. You don't need to put your hands on nobody's child, and I would never do that. And I've had kids making me just be like, I want to slap the out of you. But I've also learned how to just reach out to their parents and talk to them. And then those same kids that were bad end up being kids that I love to death as if they were my very own. Because you can't put your hand on other people's kids. And especially in a situation like this. He was a principal. But a principal would have passive alleged abuse to kids prior to this. So what he did to that child in that room, no matter what he did, he had no place. All he had to do was call the parents and say, your kid's got to go. It's a private school, too. So they're probably paying for their kid to go there. So they're going to probably want to address that situation if he picked up the phone, but he didn't because he was a pervert. He's a sicko. And I'm glad they got him arrested. And I hope in February of 2025 that they end up fighting. I guess he starts trial, but I hope the trial isn't long. And it's just long enough for them to say, you're guilty and you're going to prison because this ain't your first rodeo. You keep doing it and you're not going to stop, and you've been able to get away with it. He's sick. Look at him. He looks like a sicko. It says I'm in a basement dwelling watching some weird anime type stuff while being a pervert in my mind. That's what he says. By just looking at him. Yeah, I said it because that's what I mean. He looks weird. It's not okay for people to think that they're in a position to put their hands on anybody, but especially somebody else's child. That's that type of shit that's going to mess around and get you killed. And that's why it always shocks me when I hear about professionals in the school system that do the most wildest things. And I bring that up because some of my next videos are about some school officials that cross the line and really breaching the idea of being a teacher and go deep, all the way deep into committing offensive and heinous crimes. Well, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and end that right there because I know I done babbled a lot to this video, okay? So I'm going to end that right here. If you like this, go ahead and leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about this story, how you would handle this situation. And if you did like this video, you already know what I'm going to say. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and turn on those notifications so you can catch every single one of my true crime, current reality streets tea videos when they drop. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Catch you on the next true crime video review. Bye.
True game, mean dress game so proper, chain so big, can't pop my collar, pop my